If you guys haven't visited the website in a while, there's been some good updates besides, the card search. I love that. Article search, skills search, search for any goddamn skill in the game. Like, we had a search heavy starter. I didn't even know too well about that. I didn't really see that in competitive play at all recently. 3 or more level 5 or hires with different names. You're guaranteed to have one in your hand. Very nice. Also, the tier list. If you guys haven't seen in a while, the tier list has pretty much exactly what the Meta Weekly was. So the top player council, time and time again, is either predicting the meta so well or manipulating it so well. You be the judge. Top manipulators or top predictors. You could also read all of their reasoning on why the tier list looks like this. So all of that right then and there. You could also click on each deck type to get a good sample deck and some tips on how to play it. A recent sample deck, a proven sample deck from a recent tournament. Also, we have the Gem Investment Guide, which is based off the tier list and the top decks that are added to the website every single day, bro. Gem Investment Guide will take the last 21 days of decks and 20% usage of each card within the deck type and look at the tier list to automatically update this every single day. No one's manually touching this. As soon as decks are added, it automatically reads that information and puts it on here. So these are the top staples heading into the KC Cup. We have Canadia, Hey Trunade, Cosmic Cyclone, and Treacherous. So right now, this is the KC Cup Gem Investment Guide. Treacherous Trap Holes used in pretty much all the top tier decks. There's 6 of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 decks use Treacherous, at least 20%. Then you have Cosmic Cyclone being used in 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top 6 decks. You have Hatronade being used in 3 of the 6 top decks. And then you have Canadia being used in 2 of the top 6 decks. Gaia Genesis, the latest box to come out. The only good cards from this box, the only. You don't have to be like, what about this? What about that? No! This is automatic. You don't have to wonder. This will only show you the good cards from the box based off the tier list and top decks. So, the only good cards from this box are the Ultra Athlete cards to build the Ultra Athlete deck, which is a tier 2 deck. The only good cards from Empire of Scarlet are cards that support tier 1 vampires. This means that Vampire Vamps use at least 20% of Vampire decks. Very good. And if you want to see a sample of a Vampire deck, you can click it and it will show you, here's a sample of a top tier Vampire deck that just got first place in the MCS, won a ton of money. Back to the Gem Guide. Now, Clash of Wings will give you support for Amazons and Fur Hires. Tier 2 Fur Hires. Pretty much all of this. It's a super rare, beat Bladesman for hire. The rest are rares. Now, Widespread Ruin, an ultra rare card, is being used in Amazons. Very good. Now, it's not a core card of Amazons, but it's used in at least 20% of decks, so you could consider this card when you're opening Clash of Wings. Now, the structure box is for Spellbooks, tier 2. This structure deck cannot be purchased with gems, so think twice about purchasing this. So, oh my God, Gem Guide, and you can't even buy this with gems. That's right. It's about 18 bucks to have 3 Silent Magicians, and you're going to need all 3 to play the deck. All right. Visions of Ice. Also, if you want, you could click on the box for the box reviewing all the cards in the box. Good stuff. Let's click Empire Scarlet real quick just to see what's in there. See? Everything. All the ultra rares, super rares, and even the reviews before the cards came out. So were they wrong or correct on their predictions? Yeah, it's a fun read to read back on. Now, going down to Visions of Ice, we have Spellbooks. This supports just Spellbooks besides Treacherous. Treacherous is used in every top tier deck. So Visions of Ice, while you're digging for Treacherous, you could get a super rare Secrets or a super rare Spellbook Magician. Now, Valiant Souls. What is Vision Hero Witch Raider used for? It's being used in a lot of Amazon decks. It's becoming extremely popular. I'm seeing it in almost every single Amazon Endless Trap Hell deck. Vision Hero Witch Raider. Good stuff. And you get the Amazon Scouts, which is also being used. Canadia being used in many top tier decks, as we saw at the top. Also, a big support for Masked Heroes. Now, let me quickly show you something that we compiled together. The most expensive cards list. So most expensive cards list from the 6 top tier decks. Number 1 being the most expensive Ultra Athletes. Number 2 being Masked Heroes. Number 3, Vampires. Number 4, Spellbooks. Number 5, Amazons. Number 6, For Hires. And what tier they are. So the cheapest deck being tier 2 for hire, the most expensive deck being tier 2 Ultra Athletes. So consider, screenshot this. Consider this when choosing what deck you want to play for the KC Cup. Let's move on with the gem guide. Rampage of the Forest, just for Hey Trunade. All right, Hey Trunade, top staple card. We already looked at that. Now the structure deck is the rest of your hero deck. So you're gonna have to buy this. Also, you can only buy the first one with gems. If you buy it an additional 2 more times, which I do think you need to, because you need it for Vian. You need 3 Vian, it only provides 1. I think it costs like $3 to $4. So consider that. You will also need the Mass Change and Ankis to play it. Abyss Encounters just for Sea Stealth Attack. Now, Sea Stealth Attack has kind of fallen out of favor on the way to play Fur Hires. It's using at least 20% of top Fur Hire decks. I could show you real quick. If we go to the top decks page and we click on Fur Hires, let's click on Fur Hires. Where are they at? We got 6 Fur Hire decks. None in September are using it. So that's very interesting. But if we go to August, which is within 21 days, which is what the gem guide's looking at, we could show you how many are using it. We click Fur Hires, and then we see that 20 decks are using it. Now I want to see tournament decks. Let's see tournament, because King of Games could be whatever. Let's go on Fur Hire. Where are they at? 80 Fur Hire tournament decks and 15 Mythic Depths. So anytime tournaments, a lot of them. Any meta weeklies? I guess not. None top to meta weekly. So this is what a Mythic Depths Fur Hire deck looks like. Even playing Drowning Mirror Force. Good stuff. So not enough decks are playing Drowning Mirror Force to include it on the gem guide from the latest box. That's why you don't see it. And also not enough decks playing Galaxy Cyclone. Galaxy Cyclone is a pretty damn good card to be using in your Amazons though, even though it's not recommended on the gem guide yet, because not enough decks are using it. So good stuff. Back to the gem guide. Now you have to dig for Vampire Grace, a rare card, and Resonance of Contrast. That is nuts. I can't believe that. It's a rare card, and it's a core card of vampires. You need at least 1 to 2 of Vampire Grace, and it's from this box. And that could, unfortunately, I remember Gianna spent $15 for a rare card. She wanted level up. Okay, let's remember this. Level up. This is all she wanted. How do you spell level up? There you go. Level up. She wanted this card. It's a rare from Echoes of Silence. She spent $15. Didn't get any. So, you could get unlucky, even though it's not a holographic card, not a super rare nor an ultra rare. So good luck getting Grace if you need that. Cosmic Cyclone, 1 card from Galactic Origin. This is the MVP card going into the KC Cup, I believe. There's going to be Cosmic Cyclones everywhere. So consider picking this up all the way from Galactic Origin. It also says it's in a selection mini box, but that was temporary. No longer can you receive it from a selection box. So if you missed out on that, you done goofed. Servants of the Kings, Chalice, and Wall Disruption. Chalice is starting to go up in popularity for Fur Hires. It's not used at 20% yet, as you can see here, but Chalice being used in Mass Heroes, as we saw in the Meta Weekly Finals. Wall D being used in Amazons, but Amazons are quite flexible on what their back row could be used. They could use Wall D, Drowning, Floodgate, Mirror Wall, a bunch of other stuff. Generation Next is what you need for Samurai Skull. You need 3 to play vampires. So vampires are scattered. You got to go into Resonance of Contrast for Vampire Grace. You got to go into Generation Next for Samurai Skull. And you can get Floodgate with it. Floodgate could be used in Amazons. It's flexible, not required, but it could be good. Amazons definitely use 3 Canadia though. So you need 3 Samurai Skulls. Hopefully it doesn't cost too much money or too much gems. Digging into that. Now we have a gray box. Why is this gray? Because Silent Magician level 8's a reprint. Anything that's been reprinted will be grayed. So gray box. It's you could already get this card in the structure deck, which we saw earlier. Crimson Kingdom. You gotta dig. Damn, vampires are so scattered. I feel like it's really, maybe we should put vampires at second most expensive because of how spread out the cards are. I don't know. So it's between second and third, with Ultra Athletes still being the first most expensive deck. So Kazuki, you're gonna want 1 to 2 Kazukis, most play 2. And if you're playing Spellbooks, it's just a common card. It's going to be annoying to pull, but you should definitely play Spellbook Organization if you're going to play Spellbook. So digging into Crimson Kingdom for that. Tier 1 Vampires, once again, a scattered card. A normal card from Chaotic Compliance. This is not a core card, though. It's a tech card. So You know, Kazuki is a core card. This is a tech card. You can use it. You don't have to. But if we click on vampires, we could see that it was used in the first place deck for MCS. All right, let's go back. So down to here. Ultimate Rising, the first box ever Sphere Kribo, is used in Ultra Athletes. I feel like the use of this card is going up though. With the popularity of Cosmic Cyclone, a lot of you are going to need this card. It's crazy. Sphere Kribo, I don't know if this was ever re-released in a selection box or not, but you definitely want to, you know, I don't know. If you can afford it, this is the only good card from Ultimate Rising. Then we have free in-game sources. Free real estate. Free in-game sources. Most of the free in-game sources are for Amazon. So you got Paladin, it's a ranked duel ticket or a level up reward. Princess is now a ranked duel ticket reward. Also the Casey Cup, I think they gave you a dream ticket to obtain a princess, so consider playing that because this is a tier 1 deck. Amazon's tier 1. You definitely want to play it if you're not going to play vampires likely, unless you have your mindset on a tier 2 deck like Heroes, Fur Hires, Ultra Athletes. So most of the vampire cards are free. Now BLS, what is BLS doing here? You what, mate? That's right, BLS is being used in vampires. I think when we look at the top 4 decks, we should see a BLS deck within the Meta Weekly that just happened. So good stuff. BLS is great in vampires because you summon Retainer and Familiar onto the field, which do not take up your normal summon. Then you tribute them for a BLS Sacred Soldier. And when those get tributed, they go to the banished pile. So you don't have to preemptively have a banished card on tribute summon. They will be banished. Send the banished card from the banished pile to the grave to banish a card on the field. It's great for banishing Onslaught or a monster or any back row. Very good. Econ, definite top tier card being used in vampires. And you got the rest of the hero stuff with the polymerization. Then you could read into the analysis details. If you have any feedback or comments on this, please do so on the website. Superforms created this. Love them for it. Thank you so much, Superforms. Analysis details. This page works by analyzing the recent top decks. You could read all that. Now I want to show you a preview of what's to come. Tier list. So if you click on Amazon's in the near future, and we'll have this in a better way, it's going to give you a full deck breakdown from the top decks. Look at that. Tiger used in 79%, Paladin 59%, Treacherous, all of these. Look at that. Crazy popular skills. So I'm definitely excited for this. Another feature created by Superforms. This is from the dev site. So the top decks are really old. See, there's nothing here. So don't look at these stats now and be like, oh my God, something's missing, or really? So that's how this is now. Good stuff, other cards, popular skills. Very excited for all the stuff happening with the website. I love everyone working on the website and everyone visiting the website. So thank you all. And, thank you everyone who turns off your ad blocker, even though if you have your ad blocker on, you get blocked from the website. You fools, right? I think the ad blocker doesn't work. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, thanks for visiting Duel Links Meta. Now turn off your ad blocker, you fool!